Hello, hello, hello. I bet y'all wondered where I was last night. Hi, David. Well, I was so busy I couldn't get in here. I'll wait a few seconds to let people get in here. Yeah, I wasn't sick or nothing last night at all. I just was exhausted, but you know, I'm trying to see about this sound. I'll turn that down a little bit. Sounds terrible. Okay, hold on. Thank you, thank you. I know what it is. You know what it is, David? I didn't have my microphone plugged in, the right microphone. Hold on. Now then, that's probably better. I forgot to plug the microphone in. So we were running on fumes there like an old Ford. That probably should be better. Let me see the reverb. Is that better now, y'all? Well, Jim Rockford, I am a football stadium announcer. Didn't you know that? I've been a lot of things in my life, but that's one damn thing I've never been was a football or announcer. You know, them plays would go by so fast, whether it be in boxing or football or basketball. They'd already shot a hoop, and I'd still be back here waiting for something to happen. Or they'd have made a touchdown, and I'd have said, "Oh, they did." That's about how good I'd be as an announcer, y'all. Well, I try to get too many things going at once, y'all. And if y'all are not that way, then y'all must be perfect. Uh, I was putting on my shirt, I had my shower, I went out to water the flowers, I putting on my shorts, getting this shirt on with this Macy gay gray hat or whatever. I was trying to get the computer up. I was trying to get mother's directing chair fixed. So it's been HELL. Well, no, it's been a good day. I've got to tell y'all, it's been a good day. Every day is a miracle here lately. It really has been, y'all. And I haven't seen so many miracles since Lourdes. I've heard of so many miracles. Well, they've been happening to me too. Y'all, I told you my refrigerator was about 2 months ago was on the blink. Well, I'd be like old what was that show? Wherever they bang on the car or they banged on something and they'd finally get it going, and it wasn't that bad. And so mine was just one of those regular. Uh, it was a refrigerator freezer, like the from 1985, 90, General Electric, beige, white interior. I'd made a good car, but this refrigerator had gotten old. And so I went to the Goodwill up in Oklahoma City. And Mother and it was one day I was going to the dental department to take her. And there was a ice maker in a box, never been used, and I said, Mom, look, this ice maker is $12. She said, well, what are you going to do with it? I said, I'm going to put it in that refrigerator at home because it don't have an ice maker. Two boys gave me that refrigerator about like 1990. And so that refrigerator has been clicking along and going just fine. And then when I found that ice maker, I think 2 years, I went ahead and installed it. Everything fit just perfect and plugged in and what have you. Well, it's been making the best ice. So I didn't want to criticize it too much because it was working its poor little heart out. And so finally, my sister said, "You've got to get a refrigerator because I'm afraid you're going to get poisoned." I said, "Why would I get poisoned? The temperature is fine. It's got a gauge and all that." Well, it wouldn't nobody went and bought me one and just brought it to me or even offered to. So I had to kind of finagle and try to figure out what to do. So, you know, uh, I was going with Mother on Wednesday. So we stopped by. I talked to this dude down there, this little old guy and his wife. They've opened a little old uh, secondhand store. And so I went by just to say howdy do uh, and tell him that I've been sick and what have you, because I don't toot my horn about stuff like that unless it's somebody real personal. And my friends on YouTube, of course. But so I saw one of those equipment dollies that's got the strap that goes. I said, I asked his wife, "How much for that dolly?" And she said, "Well, he's asking 50, but knowing him, he'll let you have it cheaper." And I said, "Well, I hope so, because I really do need that dolly. I'm going to try to look on Marketplace, and I found several great looking refrigerators that's been taken out of some of those mansions over in Highland Park, or well, that's a rich area in Dallas, and they put them on there just to get rid of them, the Hispanic workers, I'm pretty sure." And I said, "I'm looking," and then I've got a neighbor that'll help me with his pickup truck and his trailer. And he said yesterday he would go get it for me and to make sure that I had a refrigerator since all this stuff's coming up. So she said, "Oh, you need a refrigerator?" Y'all, this is another pineapple plant kind of thing. I said, "Yes, I do." She said, "Well, we just so happened to go to a 3-story house this morning out at Lake Texoma, and we bought a refrigerator to resell, and maybe it's something you're looking for." And I said, "Well, let me look at it." So she got the keys, got the trailer, had one of those big, if y'all need a treadmill and you live close and you need an expensive one, I know where one is, and it would be a good price. It'd be worth driving. It was beautiful. It looked like nobody had ever used that treadmill, and it was one of those high dollar, few $1,000 ones for maybe $100. I don't know what he's selling for, but I imagine, very little. Because I got this ice box is a Maytag. I'm pretty sure. Well, we'll look here in a minute. I've got a picture of it. I'm going to show y'all what I got. I looked at it and I said, "Ooh, that's big. I mean, maybe we could get it in the sliding glass doors and on around into the kitchen." I don't know. I've never tried it. And when I had that kitchen added on, uh, kind of commercialized it, I said they never finished nothing. So I said, "I guess we have to knock a wall out. We just have to because we need the refrigerator." And I said, "I just can't go and buy one at Lowe's for $3,000. Because I said, "How much you want for it?" And he said, "Well," he said, "what does 300 sound like?" I said, "Well, I don't know if I can do that right now." I said, maybe in a few weeks when Mother gets her stipend." And so then he said, "Well, 250." I said, "Yeah, I'll give you 100 down right now." And then, so they brought it this morning. And well, last night, that's one reason I didn't come on, is because I was trying to clean I had all that stuff put out under the car park, and I was trying to clean because this refrigerator is big, and I knew they couldn't get it. Well, it took 4 men, well, 3.5 man. I mean, he wasn't a midget or nothing, but he was tiny, and they got it. And this guy's wife, of course, had the whip out on them, and then here I was saying, "Yeah, go ahead." And so we got the refrigerator in. Another blessing this week. So then I washed it all out, while a lot of it, because I had to take the doors off and all that stuff. So I washed it all out with bleach water, and I mean it looked brand new. But I'm weird. Y'all know how much I clean on that TV. So I washed it all out in bleach water and let it sit out in the sun most of the day, and then I started putting it back together, the doors and the uh, handles and all that. And okay, I'm going to show it to you. Now that's a beautiful refrigerator for $250. Now see, it's got that ice in the door, and this is all. And I put a little box up there. I keep rock salt, baking soda, and herbs in my refrigerator all the time. I always have done that. But I thought y'all would be proud to know that what little tips and stuff I've been trying to save up to get Mama and I a refrigerator. Well, we got it. The Lord blessed us today. Now, that's about the third blessing we've had this week. Okay, now I'm going to get me a drink of this Kool-Aid. Baby Kitty's down here. Debbie, it is nice. I mean, it is really nice, and we can't plug it in for till in the morning. And he assured me everything works and all of it. See, those that I was going to look on Marketplace for, I can fix anything. So it said the ice maker out or this or out. I said, well, I can fix it, and it was still some of those were $300 to $500. So, I just got a steal. Bruce, you know about my refrigerator craziness. Deb, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you, Bruce. I'm happy for Mom and I too. If you come to visit, you can have a cold Coca-Cola with me out of the new refrigerator, and I might even put it in a Waterford glass. Dee, how are you? Congratulations, you too. Thank you. I'm trying to get this. Oh, here we are. Simply Debbie, hi. Beverly White, Jim Rockford, Sherry Long. This is a way when I first started, but I've got to make sure I mention everybody. David was the first one. Boy, David, you were right at the right time, weren't you? I wasn't sure if you'd be on if you worked all day. A lot of you, I try to come on, but I never know. If I don't see you, I think, well, they're probably worn out. I think no, there's more. Debbie says, I always have too many irons in the fire. Me too. Good evening, Dee says. It's nice. Wow, gorgeous. Congrats. Happy for you. Okay. Maytag's excellent brand. I thought it was, Deb. I think that's the old washer we used to have. Bruce says, I better make that Dr. Pepper or else I'm not coming. Well, you and Granny Pat, boy, that y'all tear that Dr. Pepper up. I'll tell you. One thing about Bruce, he lives down in Texas where they make Waco was the first Dr. Pepper, but he lives there where if y'all have never had the Dr. Pepper like Trump was touting to put in the Coke, the real sugar, Bruce turned me on to that a long time ago. It's got sugar in that Dr. Pepper, and boy, does it make a difference when that Dr. Pepper hits your tongue, or when I make that Dr. Pepper cake. I use that sugar, cane sugar, Dr. Pepper. It's in a green can. You can get it at Walmart. Bruce, can you still get it there where you live? I don't know. It's good. I like it when I want something sugary and it's cold. Get a cold mug out of the freezer of Dr. Pepper. Yeah, Granny Pat's Dr. Pepper. She's on. I think Dee. She's on sugar-free Dr. Pepper now. I'm not sure. She'll have to chime in. She texted me a while ago and said that her daughter, I think, got food poisoning yesterday. So we need to pray for Jan. Food poisoning can be detrimental. Yeah, Bruce, I knew you'd. Sherry Long said, you would not believe my fridge. It's older than me. 62 General Electric. See there? Sherry, I know. They don't make them like they used to. Bruce Thomas, Dublin, Texas, with real imperial sugar and cold glass bottles. Y'all, that'll make you just faint. It was so good. Deb says Pepsi has a real sugar product too. Well, before I've known Bruce for many years, and before any of that got started, we used to get those with the sugar in them, and I just thought, oh my gosh, this is just heaven, because it reminded me of in Bonham, Texas. They used to be a filling station, not a filling station, pharmacy that had the fountain drinks. And when I was a little bitty boy, I remember Grandma, she would take us. She always wore a starched gingham dress, sometimes little gloves and a purse, and uh, she'd get her little coin purse out, and I think it's probably about 15 cents. I don't know exactly, but we'd sit there and drink a cold Coke or a cold Dr. Pepper out of that, pulling those handles down, and wasn't nothing like it. So then when Bruce said this place, it was just like memories brought back. So if y'all have never had if you like Dr. Pepper and never had it with that pure cane imperial sugar, look for it in the green can. Walmart sometimes has it. Uh, yeah, Sherry, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Beverly White said she had a case of food poisoning so bad one time she thought she was going to die. It can be very detrimental, especially if you're immunosuppressed. And I think a friend of mine had it, and she's got kind of like that leaky gut or whatever. It really like killed her. I mean, she had to go in the hospital and get intravenous antibiotics. She ate, I think they were down in Galveston, and ate maybe mussels or something. I don't know. But I don't eat, I can't do that anymore. I just, after that, I said, I'm not going to eat no raw nothing. Raw nothing. Yeah, prayers for Jan. Uh, Granny Pat, they had gone on a fishing trip, and that was yesterday they left. So, boy, that happened quick. Now, Granny Pat, I know don't see you on here, but didn't you tell me? She's gonna get mad at me, but didn't you tell me that you had packed food for them to take with them on their trip? Did you do something to that food? Now you better stop that if you're trying to give people food poisoning over that potato salad or something. No, it wouldn't have been that. I have to jazz her sometime because she tries to jazz me. Yeah, it's bad, that food poisoning. Probably some fish or something. I don't really know. What was I going to show you? Oh, y'all wanted to see that one? David has seen. Well, a few of you have seen the O'Keefe painting that I'm going to give to the Cancer Center, but I had the studio photograph of it, and I thought y'all would want to see all the coloration and stuff you can see in this photograph of it. Now you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of O'Keefe's paintings with the cow skull in the middle with the roses. That's what started it. Then you've got your hip bone to the left, and the yellow with the red, she considered birch trees blowing in the wind. Then you get up there and you've got your oak leaves and your white flower, trumpet flower. And then you've got your, y'all know what that blue flower is. I can't remember. I've had it in the yard. They're purple and white, and y'all know what it is. And then down at the bottom is the Sandia hills and mountain around her property. But that's one of the pieces. I think it's about 6 foot, well, no, probably about 5 foot by 4 foot, 4.5, something like that. So I finally figured out how to put this photographs up here. Okay, let me try to get back here. Okay, let me see. Let me see where we were. I wrote okay. Funny, remember when your electricity went at your house while on vacation, everything rotted spoiled? Oh yes, that refrigerator, we had to punch it out. We had to take it to the dump. Everybody, I'm gonna tell you, you don't want to go on vacation and come back and have a broke refrigerator because you won't want to eat for a while. Yes, David, Iris, of course. It's just I have little toots in my brain sometimes. Yes, her property was in New Mexico. It sure was. It's right there on the Ghost Ranch. Uh, this is Blake Shelton's mom. I did a portrait of him for his house that he built there at Tishomingo. And this is his mama and me. This is one I did for his old red. That's Dorothy. That's Blake's mama. She's a sweetheart. Look at my clothes. That linen shirt is so wrinkled. But I put him a deer head there on it just to, and I put old reds in Tishomingo. Those are a few of the paintings. Y'all always want to see my work. Well, I didn't know how to put a photograph up on this TV. I mean, on this computer, but now kind of figured out how to do it. So, thank you, Nana. It is beautiful. And my mama said, you know, with my stepdad was a physician, and he bought her anything she wanted. And since all that estate is still in the courts after 2011, him dying, that's why we have to be careful, because we just do what we can. And she kind of had tears in her eyes today. She said, "Oh, that refrigerator, our refrigerator is just beautiful." She said, "It's not easy having to wait on something that you really need." And I said, "Yeah, but it comes when you need it. That's what the good Lord." And she said, "You're so right." She said, "So then, oh, I've got to tell y'all. Boy, do I have to tell y'all something." So my sister called, and she said, "Well, somebody called me and said there's a bunch of cars down on your property. Are you all right? Is Mom all right?" I said, "Oh, yeah, we're finding some workmen." And she said, "Well, kind of hum-hawing around." I said, "Well, I got a refrigerator and they brought it to get it, delivered." It wasn't 2 seconds, y'all. Y'all remember what I told y'all in that video? Wasn't 2 seconds. She said, "Well, now that other refrigerator sure does make good ice. Uh, what are you going to do with that?" I knew she was hitting, kind of like the Barbie dolls. I just said, "I'm going to keep it because it does make good ice. And I always, if I have a dinner party, there's never enough ice. So now I've got a backup refrigerator." I didn't know what else to do, y'all. I'm just not going to let them. I need that refrigerator just for overflow, because when I'm cooking, y'all, and I get that meat and stuff on sale, I need an extra, even though I got a chest freezer, a small one, I need an extra freezer for that pork and stuff that I make for the channel when it's so inexpensive. And if I start going, which I'm going to that food bank now, so I'm going to need a little extra room for us. I did tell her that. I said, "I'm going to need extra room because of that food bank." So I didn't feel bad about saying it. I just have to tell them like it is. I do the best that I can. That's what I tell y'all. Ashley, love the pink. I do too. This is a boating shirt that I got at a Goodwill. And this hat I got from Temu. I got it in brown, navy, blue jean, pink, and kind of a dark green. $3.50. I think they're good looking. They're different. Thank you so much. I would compliment y'all, but all I can see is just little bitty round dolls, little bitty things. Bruce Thomas says, "Why are you so mean to your sister?" Now, Bruce, you know how it is. You know how the cow eat the cabbage around this field. Yeah, it's. I'm not going to say no more about it because I don't like talking bad. But sometimes you just got to say bad things to get it off your chest, so you don't feel so worse, so bad. I haven't heard any y'all about the appointment to get the ablation. I haven't heard from the doctor. I guess I need to call. I thought they said they would get me an appointment. I thought they said they'd get me an appointment and then they'd call me, but I haven't heard boo. So I think I'm going to call them tomorrow and say, hey, it's Friday and I need to know what's going on. I'm an important person and I've got to schedule this. They don't know any different, that I'm not important, but I need that schedule because I might have some other doctor's appointments with mom. I need to know what's going on. But my sister did call this afternoon, so I guess she's not too mad over the refrigerator. And she said she'd been really sick, doing all the. And I said, well, she said, well, I hope that I'm better next week or whenever you have to go to the hospital because I'm going to carry you over there. And I said, well, okay. I mean, she's good as gold, but then sometimes, I don't know. We all have it, don't we? Dee says, Billy has a heart of gold. I just said that about my sister, and you'd already written that. I don't know about the heart of gold. I can get kind of mad sometimes, Dee. I can get cussing and fighting mad, but I hardly ever do because it makes my blood pressure go up. Bruce says, the pink hat of yours looks like the one Queen Camilla wore that looked like pink insulation. I didn't see that hat. I thought Melania's hat was beautiful. That purple, I think it was purple. She's got a good milliner. I mean, some of those, of course, she's got the money to do it, but some of those hats are, I imagine she gets them made over by the couturier there in Paris. I don't think it's an American designer because there's not many American designers that can do hats anymore. I did for a long time, just for friends, church lady friends of mine. I'd duty them up like they was going to the Derby every Sunday. But I haven't tried that in a long time. Maybe we should have a hat making class on here when I get to feeling better. Mother's got some beautiful hats, but she don't wear them. Nobody hardly wears them, but the first lady, I guess, and Camilla. Kentucky Life with Debbie. Hello from Kentucky. Well, hello there. I'm going to have to research that out, Bruce, about that insulation, pink insulation, the hat that Queen Camilla wore. I haven't seen it. Their milliner is Dickie Kidd. Well, that was one of them, and he used to do all the hats, but I don't know. I think it's Dickie Kidd. It may have been Kid Dickie. I should know. I just remember that name. Jennifer Barrett says she just loves my show. Well, if you were here, you could sit in this chair over here and do it too. I think everybody should have their own shows. Just get on here and talk. Just enjoy visiting with people when you're at home by yourself. That's what started this channel, is me being here with my 93-year-old mama and starting to cook. And I became friends with Granny Pat. And Granny Pat was in love. Well, not in love. Granny Pat loves the old movies, as y'all know. Well, the Christmas right after I had met her, probably in October, she said something about Greer Garson. And of course, Greer Garson, I knew, and at one point I worked for in Dallas. She had an apartment above the Presbyterian Hospital. She gave all that money for the Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas. And so Granny Pat mentioned how much she liked Garson. And I just so happened to have a couple of signed photographs. I've got a lot of signed stuff of different people. And I thought, that would bring a joy to that woman. I don't know her, but I'm going to frame it. So I got a solid wood hand-carved frame out of my collection, one of those high-dollar European frames, and I put that picture of Garson in there. And That was after she married Buddy Fogelson. But she was still on the board of SMU, I think, by the time I got this autograph. She didn't give autographs. It didn't matter if you was her best friend or worked for her, whatever. You didn't invade on her. So I sent it to Granny Pat, and of course that just struck up a friendship that's been going on now over 2 years. And we're going to do lives again before long. Got the computers all up, but we've got to have a chance to work it out. And I just have not, with all of this stuff going on, I have not had a chance to work out uh, us getting a live show going, or the antique show, or the whatever doll show, or whatever. I just haven't. And y'all tell me if y'all wear wigs. You know, I bought out that wig warehouse. Uh, Lord, when? That's probably been 3 or 4 years ago. My friend owned a big, she's a Oriental gal, and she owned a big company. Well, her husband got cancer, and she had to close her shops all over California. And so I told her, I said, okay, I'll buy some of the wigs, and I'll try to peddle them. Well, right after that, I got sick from the cirrhosis, and I've still got boxes of beautiful lace front wigs. I may do a wig show one night and put it on a turntable. Because, I mean, some of those I got for like, I think $20. Some of those $200 or $300 wigs for about $20. Bruce said, I wish the YouTube channel would let people add pictures. Yeah, there's a lot of things I wished about the YouTube channel, but uh, let's see, Sherry Long. I've seen that, Bruce. It's been going around a while. Totally looks like insulation. Did you email it to me? I don't have that email. I've got it on my phone. Let me look. I want to see this insulation. Let me get to the Just Me Billie Jean at yahoo.com. I hope that's the one you sent. Yeah, here it is. Well, that does kind of look like Texas insulation, doesn't it? Can you believe that? It says somewhere a ceiling is missing. Now, can y'all see that? Look there. It does. Well, mine is not as fluffy, but Camilla, you better get a hold on yourself and look more queenly. Since you're the queen now, I don't like that hat either, y'all. Check your email. I did, D. I did show you. Maybe I guess you're behind. Deb, if you love wigs, email me at justmebillyjean. Tell me what you're looking for, and I'll tell you if I've got it, how much it is. And of course, you don't have to pay postage with me because I have free stamps. Anytime you get anything from Billie Jean, you don't have to pay no postage because I've got you covered with my free stamps. Uh, that Bruce, you brought that up. That looked kind of like a old Goose's fanny to me. If it's pink, the way it's kind of, maybe they were going for the plumage look. Yeah, I don't care for that. Maybe I should make a hat and send it to her. Her and Miss Trump both. Maybe they'd wear my hats. And no, I don't need no more irons in the fire. I am not gonna. Kate reminds me of, well, not exactly, but Kate reminds me of Diana. I met Princess Diana once. She came to Dallas, her and Charles, to receive the Ross Perot Award. And it just so happened that Trammell Crow's son, I knew well, and they were having having at the Anatole Hotel, and so they had the soiree for them, and she just acted so beat down. Uh, she was standing kind of at the back of the ballroom by where they have a place you could go out, and she was just standing there with a small glass of champagne, and nobody. It seemed like everybody was just fussing over the king at that time, Prince, and she just looked like she might have just been so sad. So we kind of migrated around towards that way because there was no security. I mean, you had all at the doors they were, and those all that stuff. But yeah, she was a delightful person, but she just the aura you got was just sadness, you know. And I've always been able to pick up on stuff. My grandmother had it, third eye, and at one point I used to read cards for the public because I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think God gives you insight, and if you're lucky enough to be able to pick up on it, uh, I don't. The cards had nothing to do with it. But I was young, and that was in the late '80s, and everybody was wanting fortune, stuff like that. I never thought of it as devil because it was just for fun. But a lot of stuff came true to people that I've known that I did tell what was going to happen. Didn't have nothing to do with those cards. It was what I was feeling in my brain. Yeah, she did live a heartbreaking life. She died heartbroken. You think about money, fame, fortune. I've seen I've seen billionaires that were millionaires that were so depressed. I mean, they couldn't get out of the bed in the morning. So they turned to liquor most of the time. Some of them's husband would run around on them or whatever. The Truman Capote gals, Babe Paley, and all those. They really had stories. The Black Swans. They all. Harold, my friend, was dear friends with all of them. I met a couple, and they just always seemed like they lived such a miserable life. Even though on that, is it the Black Swan? Y'all remember that series by one that did the Betty Davis and all them. Uh, yeah, I saw that, and I saw them. Their husband would be inappropriate or have an affair or something, and then they'd get a big old rock, diamond or sapphire, and then everything was fine. Oh, that was fine. Well, I tell you, it'd take more than a diamond or something like that to heal my heart. I just don't think. Yeah, D, money doesn't matter if you have no peace. I'd rather be poor as dirt and have a good life with all that rat race than to be well to do and just be in total miserable circumstances all the time. All the time. Slim Keith, yeah. Uh, I'm looking. Oh, we've been on here 40 minutes, y'all. When I tell you, when we're having fun, don't we? We can feud. That's right, Bruce. Feud, and supposedly Charles and I are the next in the series. Oh, really? Boy, that's going to be some hot topic. We may have to do a hot topic show on that because I kind of got some insight. Sherry Long said, Lord, forgive me, but I can't stand Camilla. Not a queen to me. Sherry, you sound like my director in there. She said, she never says bad nothing. She said, every time, just occasionally, she'll say, I don't know what he sees in her. He should have kept what he had. That's about as bad as Mom ever says about anything. And I said, well, Mom, she said, no, it's true. When you've got pure elegance and then you have to settle for an old stock horse, And I think, well, maybe he's not so hoity-toity as they say in Oliver as we think. Dee says, I'm in my rocking chair and my coffee by the river. That's right. Dee, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go sit on the riverbank and drink coffee and listen to birds sing and all that kind of stuff, y'all. It's just been once I get over all this mess. But today I'm a lot better. I have no pain in my goozle, my gullet, my whatever it is. I'm eating a little better, not so much jello, just soft food. But I've not had pain. I haven't took any kind of acetaminophen or nothing for 2 days, and I'm off the insured. I mean, I still have them, but that is about all I could stomach to take down because it felt like about 4 or 5 hot coals, fire coals were in my stomach, and it was just I imagine I've lost. I don't know. I've got scales, but they're underneath one of the bathroom sinks, and I haven't pulled them out because I wouldn't know what I started out with. I'd have to look at the hospital records, but I imagine I've lost some. You know. Oh yeah, Bonnie. He was playing around with Camilla years ago, during, after, and before. You know, I don't understand it, but maybe it's not meant for me to. You know, we just I always remember Grandma saying, you know, when you get married and you love them and make the best of it. You know, there was no divorce in Grandma's day. Uh, yes, they were cavorting back then, but there's probably a lot more. From what I hear, Prince Philip was also a go-getter with the girls. I imagine they all kind of are, you know. And then all this stuff with the other one and Epstein. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. I watch the news, and then I like to kind of figure it out for myself. But you know, we all know what's going on. Like my friend always said, "Well, I'm not so sure about that affair because I wasn't under the bed when they did it." And I said, well, maybe I wasn't either, but I'm going to tell you from all the actions that I've seen, they're having an affair. And if they don't, one or the other, or their mother don't know it, or whoever at that church, if they don't know there's an affair going on, then they're blind as a mouse. So I don't know. Deb and him, hi there, Billie Jean. I've been praying for you, darling, and will continue to. Looking good though. Love you. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate all the prayers. Y'all, you have to realize there's no telling how many thousand prayers was going up when I nearly died. You know, and I appreciate everyone. I appreciate every subscriber. It helps. It gives Mother something to do. It gives me something to do. That's why I've started just coming on every night. It doesn't matter what we talk about. Y'all are my friends. We're just going to sit here and talk. We're not on the front porch. We're not in the cornfield. We're here. Mother's in there watching, and it makes her feel important because she's listening to every sound. And here comes a little and I know something's going on, and she keeps me on my toes, and y'all keep me on my toes. And there's not any better medicine than being busy. You know, I when I first got that cirrhosis, and then took the Epclusa to cure the Hep C. I just laid around for about 2.5 years because I didn't feel good, you know. But then when I decided, you know, I'm sick of this darn bed, I'm going to get up and do something. That's when I started cooking again, making the old timey recipes. And then I've graduated now. Boy, I've got those boxes moved and packed, and it's just great, y'all. You know, I'm getting things done that have been this way for 40 years. It's time to get something done, and I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Mother and I discussed the Titanic exhibit, and I think we're going to do it. I've got to see what date we can do it. And if any of y'all that are close to Dallas and want to join us, you're welcome to. We'd have a good time, and tickets aren't bad. You can afford them. They're 20 something or 30 something dollars. If we can get 10, then I think they give us a discount even more. But I've been trying to work out taking Mom on her chair because it was so hard on me, and I don't think when this cancer surgery is done, I'm not going to be able to do a lot. But trying to push her and do the filming is going to probably. David, you'll go. Well, would you mind pushing Mama while I videotape? Bruce probably will go if he could. Yeah, I think it'd be great, y'all. I'm proud. I'm proud, Bruce, how well I'm doing too, because Bruce, my friend, I call him my stepbrother, because he is. He's more of a brother than, and he's just started watching me, but he's the part of my family that's well educated. He was a school teacher for gazillion years, and he's the one that y'all prayed for with the multiple myeloma. And he's the one that I went and stayed with and took care of the best that I could in the Hope Lodge that I'm going to give the paintings to. So he's had stem cell implants. I hope you don't mind, Bruce, but I think these people need to know. My friends need to know that the multiple myeloma is not a death sentence. He had the stem cell implants. They harvested them from his own body, put them back in him, and he was a sick cookie. But now it's been post-op about 2 years, didn't it, Bruce? And he's mowing his yard and got him driving his car, and so there is life after cancer. Used to, we didn't have it. We didn't have life, especially multiple myeloma. The cancer that Daddy had was mesothelioma. He just didn't make it. He just didn't make it. And if Dad would have been here instead of 2005, I think he would have made it. After I saw what they did to Bruce, for Bruce, it's just amazing. Johnny on the spot. Of course, David knows the Dallas area, and he knows that cancer center down there is amazing. So if I thought that there was any bad, ill feeling that I had about this procedure, I would be in the car to Dallas instead of to Denison, Texas, because like my brother-in-law Bruce said, he needs to go to my doctor in Dallas. And I said, well, he's a cowboy and he don't even like having the cancer, and that's why he's 122 pounds now. The cancer hadn't returned, but he has worried about it so much that it's been detrimental to his life in a way. He's doing better now. They put him on that pill that makes you eat. He wasn't eating nothing. I don't know the name of it, but it's helping him. He's gained 5 pounds in the last week and a half, I believe. He went to his doctor today, my brother-in-law, and only thing that's wrong with him, B12 off. I have never in my life, y'all, seen so many people. Bruce is another one. My brother-in-law, now me and mother, our B12, and y'all see what that shot does to me. I'm still going strong. My pulse is still up around 78. So I know it had to be the B12. All these years I've been sluggish. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. I couldn't see. My eyes have even cleared up. Why couldn't they have figured it out? But in time, I can't bitch about not having it before but there's so many people low on B12. So if you think you're feeling bad, go get it checked. Get your B12 checked. Because, one little old, now you can't take it I've said this, and y'all know I have to repeat because a lot of you aren't on here all the time. You can't just take a supplement, a drops under your tongue or your pill, if you have stomach problems. And David iterated that you have to have it in a shot form because if you have any stomach issues, it will not absorb. I mean, it just goes away. You don't get any benefit from it. So don't think just because I'm taking B12, you're fine. You need to get it checked. And if it's down, get you a shot. Mother and I now get a shot every 2 weeks, and it could be quick more than that. But that seems to level us out. So David says I'll push. Okay, that's what I meant. I got her one of those. Well, my sister, matter of fact, she donated. Her husband was a fixing to say a veterinarian, a veteran. And yeah, my brother in law was a bird doctor. No, he was a veteran and he passed away from a blood disorder just about the time I started the channel. And she had one of those sit and push, but it wasn't those little flimsy set and pushes. It's the one I had at the fashion show in Oklahoma City that I pushed mother on. It's just one of those set and push cart things. And when we went to see Edith Head, but its mother's a size 6. You have to realize she's tiny, and that she sits on there. And when we go to the doctor, I'm just pushing, and she's riding backwards, and people just look at us like, "Well, I never thought of that," or "Boy, you two are crazy. What if she fell off?" No, it's sturdy, and that's the only way I could have took care of Mama as good as I could after she broke her hip, because I can just wheel that little thing into the store or anywhere, get it out of the car, I can lift it, And now we've got one of those Nighthawk electric wheelchairs with a joystick. I'm going to have to sell it because I got it on a good deal, but she can't. She'll never. And I tried. I nearly ran through the French door. Now that's what we should have been filming that about 2 or 3 days ago. That thing, I got that joystick hung, and I thought I was gone, y'all, out to the car to the yard. That thing gets to going. So, but one thing about that Nighthawk is that you can buy them off of Amazon. They're real expensive, and you can take them on the airplane. They're approved to be taken on the airplane. So, if y'all know anybody that needs that, we've got stamps. We can mail it. So, I think I gave $500 for it because I thought, if I get sick, which I wasn't sick, I mean, I had cirrhosis. I thought, if I get sick to where I can't walk, or Bruce needs it, or Mama needs it, or my sisters need it, but it scared me. I'm not gonna get back on that thing. Poor cats, y'all. One cat went one way and one that went the other, or I'd have had probably 2 crippled kittens, cats. Sheila Chester, you've missed so much. No, yeah. We've been on here 55 minutes. Where you been, down there in Arkansas? Debbie says, yes, I have to have B12 injection because I don't intrinsic factors in my stomach to absorb it. Let me go down, y'all, so I can come back up and talk to y'all. Okay, where are you? I always go to David because usually he'll chime in. He chimed in the last. I try to remember the name. David said he would go. I remember that. And then he said he'd push, which I'm going to take you up on that, David. Don't think that I'm not. So don't be spouting off if you can't do it. I know you could, though. We already did that. Inspiration, JoJo B. Inspiration. I just have a good attitude toward life. I do. And if I make somebody angry, I'm sorry. But I'm just me. D, you want to go? You're pretty far from me. You're down in Atlanta, aren't you? I'll take pictures. That's why I need David to push because I want to use the camera. Yeah, D said that would push, Mama. What dates? Honey, it's been going on for like 3 or 4 months, and it's been held over and held over and held over. So I think Uno momento, por favor. Let me see. Let me just try to make a plan. Here it is. Da, 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 da. Okay, get tickets. Okay, let's just see when the. Let's see, they've been holding this over and holding it over. And, let's see. I thought it would be. I'm trying to figure out how to get. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. Well, I hope I ain't let this. I mean, it's going on like right now. I hope this isn't the last weekend. Select date. I'm trying to find it, y'all. Oh my God. If this is the last weekend, it ends September 19th. I don't know if we can. I mean, Mother and I could make it on Sunday, maybe the 21st. The tickets are $32. But see, maybe Saturday the 20th because they're $32. But I just think that's too fat. I just don't think I can do it because I've got so much going on. Well, I'm sad about that. I'm just so sad about that because I thought it was going to October the 7th or 10th, and it's not. So the 21st, we'll just pick out something else, y'all. Because we just can, there's no way I could get her ready and get that done in a couple of days. And, well, that's out. So, uh, oh, Bruce, remember the last trip with your mama? She wanted to get you married. Yeah, she said, oh, this is my son. And the woman said, can I have your number? I thought, don't you give her my number. I don't know that woman from, I don't know that lady. Do not give her my telephone number. Of course, Bruce was there and he's just dying laughing. Please hit the thumbs up. I'm so sad right now. I'm still thinking about that. I wanted to see that Titanic exhibit. You know, one thing good about Dallas is they've always got something going on, something coming in, or we'll find something. We'll find something before Christmas, and the ones of you that can come, we'll do it. We'll do something. I promise. I've already promised y'all this last year that we would do something. I'm trying to find. I think I've gone through all them. David, I'm sorry. He said he would push. I'm sorry. We'll do something. We really will. We'll come down and do something, or uh, if you look and plan, Dallas does have some great symphony, opera, ballet, art shows. We might even go junk shopping. There's just so much, but I've got to get this surgery over with, and I really don't feel like going this weekend. If the truth's known, I'll just be honest with you. I don't feel like I can enjoy it and be a good host or enjoy the company because I'm still down a little bit. But today is Thursday. Tomorrow I've got two appointments. I've got a doctor's appointment, lab work in the morning, and I'm gonna call my doctor and see what's going on. Yes, David, we will find something sometime. Yes, because there's no sense in people living around and us and not being able to visit or. Deb, I don't know. That's what I've got to call tomorrow maybe and see about the surgery. I'm going to try to fatten myself up a little bit so I don't uh, get, I don't know how that surgery, I don't think it'll affect my stomach again. This has been pretty good, pretty raw. I'll put it that way. Yeah, we'd have a group outing. We could do a group outing, D, with Mama and me. I think it'd be fun. But we'll figure it out. I've got to get off here because we've been on here for an hour and 1 minute and 43 seconds. I'll be on again tomorrow night and the night after. But if y'all see that I'm not on here, it's not because I'm sick. It's probably because I'm worn out, or I don't think it's camera issues anymore or internet issues, because they've been going pretty good. So I better not speak it too loud. Thank you, Jesus, for helping us all, Lord. We're doing okay. Let Jan get healed. Let Grandma Lois and Granny Pat and all our friends, bless them all, Lord. And God bless us. God bless the United States. And we'll talk to you probably tomorrow evening. We'll just